And we're off. Well, we're back. So, shorts and suits. We're going to give it another whirl here. Riz hasn't quit yet, and he thankfully hasn't quit his day job either. So, it is episode, technically it's our fourth recording.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know how many we've gotten out at this point, but it's the fourth time that we've tried this. It's been an interesting experience to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah. It's different, right? I've never done anything like this.
Right.
For me, this is completely foreign. This is
Yes.
I think it makes it easier that it's just us basically kind of shooting the shit
Yeah.
like we do any other day.
Right.
Except now there's a bunch of microphones and cameras and
Now we have a table.
yeah, I have to make sure I shave, or at least trim right, and so
Not me. Not me.
it's different.
Yeah. So, do we need? We've done the introductions. I'm Brandon. That's Riz.
Yep.
We are shorts and suits. We are learning as we go. As you noticed, I know that if you're watching this on Facebook or maybe even YouTube, the audio has been bad. We're working on that. We're actually going to get the actual podcast released this week. I'm putting it out there. I'm going to put some pressure on myself to get one published. And so we're making strides. I think we're moving forward.
Yeah.
I think the table is a big step forward because you're not going to have to look at my ball sack all day long. It makes me feel a whole hell of a lot more comfortable. I was a little uncomfortable with some of the shots from the last one.
All the millions of viewers watching.
Yeah, exactly.
You won't have to see that.
Yeah, it was painful for me. I don't know. It was one of those things that I just kept going, damn, why am I sitting like that? So I don't even. We met yesterday with our buddy Anthony, who's kind of our technical support guy, and obviously, I don't know if his advice has been good advice or not so far.
Yeah.
But Latino does a good job. He's a unique computer fix in place, and he helps us out. So we were talking yesterday about what we wanted to talk about today. And due to my CTE, I have forgotten already. So I'm going to let you lead off because I don't fucking remember.
All right. So, today, the focus of the show in general, the last couple of weeks, we've just kind of introduced ourselves as far as our stories. But really talking about the focus of the show, it's just more kind of current events, things that are going on, or kind of our opinions on them.
Because everyone wants to know our opinion.
Exactly, as
Absolutely.
they should.
I know.
Our opinion is
It's
always
good.
the right opinion.
The people in Panera are very enlightened when we're done.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's more just kind of sharing relevant stories of what's going on, and I think a lot of it came from, just different media outlets and understanding there's so much kind of misconception that
Contradiction. Right?
So
that's probably a good word.
We had talked about it. We said, look, you could take one story
right
and watch it on CNN and switch to Fox, and it's the same story, but it's a completely different
spin. Absolutely.
Right? So our idea was more factual, hey, look, this is what's going on. We want you guys, the viewers, to really understand the issues and make your own opinions, right? Don't just follow somebody else.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the backing of the show itself.
Right.
And it was just about, obviously, Brandon being a former NFL player, was really concentrating, and me being a huge fan of sports in general. Right. So really focusing on sports as well. But again, talking about kind of everything, right? So there's nothing that's going to be off limits, from religion to sports to politics. To, kind of the whole 9 yards.
All the things you're not supposed to talk about with other people, that's what we're going to do. Right, exactly. So good. We should piss a lot of people off,
exactly.
And they won't know where we're filming, even though it's in my basement. And and that's kind of the idea, right? I think that after our conversations that Riz and I had, it was very, we may not see eye to eye on everything, right? But I think that there's a discussion that can be had one way or the other, and hopefully, at some point, like we've talked about before, we actually get some guests that maybe don't come into the basement. Maybe we go to them once we get all of this stuff figured out. Yeah. And
we figured out our first guest. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're gonna actually go see our man.
So that's
Latino at Unique Computer Fix in Place.
Yeah.
And he's gonna give you the actual name of his business. And he's probably gonna shoot me
Yeah.
But he
if
was
you type in unique, it'll
Yeah.
come up, but it's spelled UNEEK.
Right.
I want to say it's Unique Computer Repair.
I think it is.
But it might be Unique Industries.
I've written him a couple
or-
checks, and I think
yeah,
it's
I don't know.
yeah. I'm
You
trying to
know,
think of how I
so-
phrase it. I know it's not unique computer fix in place.
Yeah, it might be.
It may
I
be.
don't know.
That's what I think it
But
should be. If it were mine,
that's
that's
true.
what I would call it.
He's in Downingtown. So literally, if you Google like Unique UNEEK
Right.
Downingtown, and his company and address and all that stuff will come up.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
He is. He does a good job. He's
Yeah.
built a couple computers for me. He's
Yeah.
fixed a lot of things that I've messed
Oh,
up,
yeah.
and he's definitely helping us with this. And so it'll be fun. This next week, we're going to go out to the shop and we're going to interview him a little bit. And he's got a pretty cool story. And it's always, we were talking with him yesterday, and it was, he's a small business owner. He's literally started this thing from scratch
Yeah.
by himself.
I don't want to give away too much.
No, I know,
but
me neither.
I've known Anthony for probably about 17 years.
Yeah, and if we can get
He
the
started
pictures
the
that
company
you
literally
guys
in
have.
his parents' basement.
Yeah, which is cool.
Right, to see where he started to where he is now, it's a really cool story. Right.
Considering, I'm glad we didn't move him out of his parents' basement last time, but we did
Yeah,
just move him
yeah.
into his new shop, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. I think I got like 4 pieces of pizza for it and some technical support for this show out of the
Exactly, yeah.
deal.
It worked out. It
A
worked
long
out
deal
well
of lifting a lot of heavy things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's good. What else were we going to talk? I know we had some sports things that
Yeah,
we wanted
we've
to
got
bring
some
up.
sports stuff going on. So real quick, what we'll discuss today, obviously the NBA Finals are wrapped up, so we'll touch on that.
Yeah.
My Facebook feed is about 90% Mayweather and McGregor.
That
being
was it.
official, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
definitely something.
So
we
real
can
quick,
discuss.
before we go any further, because
Yeah.
my fucking memory is jumbled at best right now.
Yeah.
There's also the Mayweather McGregor fight is on, but I know there's a but in there. But the other thing there's also, as I watch this, so like my Facebook feed as this kind of happened, or Twitter feed and all the social media stuff, is sorry, Tank's moving
Tanker?
around down here. Yeah.
You want to come up?
He's like, yeah, but I just can't figure out how. Is he trying? Oh, he's gonna come
You're
up
gonna
that
come
way.
over me?
What's up,
Okay.
buddy? Here, come back here, bud. So spell. Come on, bud.
We're trying to get Tank up to his seat. He was a little late waking
Little
up.
late,
He was
little
taking a nap under the table earlier.
Got a big guy.
There we
There he
go.
goes. And
All
the
right.
third member of Shorts and
Yeah.
Suits.
Everybody remembers Tank?
It is
Hey,
Tank.
Tank.
So what I saw though was a couple people that are more boxing fans, Floyd
Yeah,
fans.
yeah.
There's like this video of Conor McGregor in the ring with a
Yeah.
real boxer.
Yeah,
I didn't actually watch it.
I watched it.
What is it?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So
because
it's-
I like McGregor a
It's
lot.
Conor McGregor basically sparring, right? So the fight goes official. I think like it went official, apparently official Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever that was. So now the official date is for that card is August 26th.
Oh wow, that's
So
a pretty
time
quick
frame
turnaround.
wise- Yeah, time frame wise, you're looking at it's about 9 weeks away.
Is that normal?
Yeah.
That seems like not a lot of
Yeah,
time.
typically your fight camps are usually 6 weeks to 8
Okay.
weeks, maybe, right? So it's right
Yeah.
around that 8-week time frame that he has
Right.
to train. So this video comes out of Conor McGregor basically sparring against this pro boxer
Right.
in the ring, and I guess
Was it an old? Was it a super old video or was it relatively recent?
It seemed relatively.
It looked a little
recent,
grainy,
like,
like 70s porn. I mean, it was a little
So
not that
it was
I've
kind
ever
of one of
watched
those.
that.
Did this guy add like a filter, like to?
Yeah, no,
make it seem
that's
that
why.
way,
See,
or,
that's
you
why I
know?
didn't watch it, right?
So
Because I looked at it.
I watch McGregor videos, and
Right.
you know, if he's fully tattooed, it's pretty recent.
That's a
right?
good
If
point.
it's,
That's a
you
good
know,
point.
So even if you look at a couple of years ago when he got into the UFC, he didn't have that giant chest tattoo. You know, so
Right.
that's how you kind of tell, hey, is this an old video or
Gotcha.
not, right? So yeah, it was interesting to show. You know, obviously it's a completely different sport.
Right. So is the fight going to be a boxing match?
It's a boxing match. Yeah.
So what do you? I mean, okay, 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
Fight. It only takes 6 weeks to train for a fight.
Yeah, because I mean, the idea is when you're a professional athlete, you're always in shape to compete.
I was a professional athlete.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and
Yeah,
say
off-season,
I'm gonna
right?
go
So
ahead
in
and
sports
say-
like boxing or combat sports in general, there's no off-season,
Right.
So it's you're in the gym pretty much.
Right, yeah, those guys
There was
live
no
in the
summer,
gym, right? That's how they make their living too,
Yeah,
right? I
so
mean,
typically the 6-week camp is really focusing on things like technique or hey, what's the other guy do really well that we
Right.
want to game plan for. So right, think of that 6-week technique as like your weekly prep in
Right.
football.
Okay.
Right, it's saying all right, what's that team do real
Right.
well? What do we have advantages of?
yeah,
And it's basically that game plan spread out over 6 weeks.
gotcha.
All right.
Okay,
Um,
sorry.
so
I
yeah,
don't know. But so I mean, do you think? I've watched McGregor fight in the UFC,
Yeah.
and he, to me, is pretty talented with his hands.
yeah.
Can he hit Floyd though?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know that anybody can hit Floyd.
I don't.
Which is why I don't like
think
watching
the fight's
Floyd.
really going to be close. I think for McGregor, the only shot McGregor has is knocking somebody out.
Right,
Now-
catching him with that one shot.
Right. Now, also keep in mind, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, McGregor has that power to do that. He's
Right.
he's put guys on the ground in the UFC." The UFC wears like 4-ounce little
Yeah,
gloves
so they're gonna be
compared
wearing
to
boxing gloves.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So that's obviously going to take a little pop off of
Huh.
it too. All right. But I don't think technique wise, I don't think McGregor is going to be able to keep up with Mayweather. I just don't.
I don't know how it happens. Like, I don't either. I mean, do they rematch in like a UFC style fight, like an MMA fight?
I don't see Mayweather.
Mayweather would do
ever
that in a
doing
heartbeat.
That. Yeah.
No. I mean, to me, is this just a payday for McGregor?
I think McGregor in his mind thinks he can win. Just
You
like
have
any
to. Right?
exactly,
Yeah. I think we
as
talked
you
about
should.
that with the last. I always believed, even when my team sucked,
Yeah.
I believed we would
Yeah,
win on
exactly.
Sunday. Yeah, absolutely.
But I think he may be over his head.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I do.
I think if it was any other MMA fight, yeah, McGregor would definitely
Yeah.
have a chance, right? I think at this point, though, and being that it's just boxing rules,
Right.
I don't know if McGregor would be able to do it.
Will it be a good fight?
So that's the thing. It could go either way, right? Depending on how McGregor's kind of training's going,
Right.
It could go either way. You also got to keep in mind Floyd is now 40 years old.
107.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Also hasn't fought in a couple of years. I think.
Yeah,
2
it's been a
years
while.
now, right? So he might have maybe some ring rust
Right.
going on. So that might play into it. I think for me the biggest draw to this fight is more like the press conferences and
Oh God, the entertainment value is
Yeah.
going to be amazing, and I think
Exactly.
that's what
Yeah.
I think that'll all be great, and I'm excited about it. I mean, I really am. I think I grew up in the Tyson. You know what I mean? Like that's when and boxing was awesome,
Yeah.
right? It was fun, and it wasn't necessarily Tyson was crazy, right? But like when they got in the ring, man, it was fun to watch, right? And the UFC, I love watching the UFC. I really got into it. My favorite UFC fighter for a while was Clay the Carpenter Guida. Just only because
Yes.
only because he was on every fucking card.
That's
Like
right.
that guy
All right,
fought.
so there's a
every
fighter
week.
like that now that I respect the shit out of.
Right.
Donald Cerrone.
Yeah,
Right?
I know who he is. Absolutely.
That guy wants to fight.
Is that Cowboy Cerrone? Yeah.
He wants to fight every UFC card.
I
And
love
you know
it.
what? The way he fights and typically the way he wins,
Yeah.
Dana White's okay with him. He's an exciting fighter.
Yeah.
Like, he's not the type of guy that wants to fight every time and then he'll just
I
kind of take
I
somebody
like
down.
it. So there was a stretch where I was right out of the NFL, kind of when the UFC was kind of going up, right? Like kind of climbing. So mid 2000, right? 2005, 2000, and for some reason, it was what Mary Kate and I would watch at night, like before we go to bed, right? Like she loved it too, right? And we became, and it seemed like Clay Guida was on every night.
Yeah.
And it was like, and he was just a mess, right? His hair was everywhere.
Yeah.
He wouldn't duck it, you know what I mean? He was just catching punches, and
Yeah.
he would win some and
Exactly.
lose some,
Yeah.
right? But he was always there, and it was like that was the guy was like Clay the fucking Carpenter Guida,
Exactly.
so she really liked Chuck Liddell, like that.
Yeah.
The Iceman, like I think I got her an Iceman T-shirt
Yeah.
for Christmas one year, right? But that was like when we got into it. But like, it's the UFC has taken over, in my opinion, that boxing space.
Yeah.
And I don't, because there is the heavyweight division sucks in boxing.
Yeah.
which is
They
terrible.
also have too many belts.
And that's
so
a
it's
big
like
part of
there's
it
a
too.
couple heavyweight boxers now that are really good.
Right.
But like so, Anthony Joshua,
Yeah.
who just beat Klitschko. Like,
Yep. Yeah,
a
he's
month
good.
ago, right? So he's techniquely he's really good.
Right.
All right. There's another guy, Deontay Wilder.
Okay.
Right? So he's another champ. But if we compare techniques, it's not even close. Like he just throws a lot of kind of looping outside overhands and
Right.
like that. His technique is very sloppy.
Yeah.
And I think there needs to be unification in boxing because
Yeah.
every other person.
We
that's a
need Don
boxer
King
is a
back.
champ. Yeah.
Where the fuck is Don King?
Yeah.
He's probably in prison.
Seriously.
Is he in jail?
I don't
No.
know.
Only in America, baby.
Exactly.
But like I don't know. So I'm excited. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the build up for this fight.
Yeah.
But I think that the sport takes a hit though when the build up is so big and the fight is so bad.
And that's
right?
happened a lot.
And it happens a lot with Floyd.
Yeah.
Like if you're not a boxing purist and you don't understand like defensive boxing, right? You know that kind of what and how special he is in that regard.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna punch anybody.
There's the same issues in MMA, right? So a lot of guys, you know, as fans, guys get a lot of heat that are wrestlers.
Right,
So,
yeah, because it's not
take it
exciting,
down
right?
and-
Yeah.
it's not as exciting, right?
As
But
strikers
for-
and
if
roundhouse
you know
kicks. And,
what that guy, like if you follow the sport enough where you know
Right.
what that guy's doing and you understand the technique,
yeah.
it's not as bad.
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's like I can watch a football game that ends up 10-7 and really enjoy it.
Exactly.
Whereas like the average fan now is gonna be like that game fucking sucked. It
I
was so
like the
boring.
lower scoring ones.
Yeah, right.
It's a defensive.
Yeah.
Like,
So
you
like
know,
for me, like I get that, right? But like I think from the sport in general, it's kind of like if we can transition in a second into the basketball finals, the NBA finals. So, all right. So we're gonna talk about Tank giving me the stink eye there. What's up, man? I know you're gross right now. Thank you. So we were talking about that, you know, kind of that idea of the build up, right, to the super fight,
yeah.
right, which is basically what the NBA was this year, right? The build up, the super fight
Yeah.
between the Warriors and the Cavs that you knew was coming,
Yeah.
and right, I mean the playoffs sucked. Both of those teams just wiped everybody up. I think the Cavs lost one.
Yep.
Right? The Warriors lost one eventually to the Cavs, but in
Yeah.
the playoffs they were undefeated.
Yeah. Yeah.
I fucking like to me the NBA is dead right now. Like
Yeah,
I have
so
no
that was our worst, right? We had talked
Yeah,
about it a couple
yeah.
weeks ago, and that was kind of for the NBA itself. That was literally worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And that's what happened, right? So now, as the NBA is a business, they just pretty much gave the game plan to all the other teams to say, all right, here's how you win a championship.
Right.
So as an owner, the
Yeah.
goal is winning championship.
Right,
It's not
that's
about, hey, I want this or I want that. It's
Right.
championships.
Yeah.
Right? That puts people in the seats
Yeah.
to the games. That's what we want, right? So now it comes up to, all right, we've got, you know, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Durant, you've got, you know, Green all on the Warriors.
Yeah.
You got LeBron James, who now I guess LeBron James is, or based on what the media is saying, is now saying, all right, well, LeBron James is this ultra superstar. Like, you know, has he ever been on this super team before?
Right.
And, you know, he's unhappy with where he is. And there's already talks of him like, oh, should LeBron James go to the Lakers or the Clippers? And like, no disrespect to LeBron. I don't give a shit if he takes respect.
Right.
Kyrie Irving is a fucking good point guard.
Absolutely is.
Like, Kevin Love is a really good power forward. So
Yep.
don't tell me you didn't have like support or like
Yeah.
that was the problem. Like
Yep.
it's just they were a much better team than you.
I know.
Period. All right.
Yep.
And then
Sorry.
a lot of
Hold
people
on.
are giving
Keep going.
Kevin Durant
Rude.
flack for saying, all right, like you know, I can't believe Kevin Durant went to the Warriors after he lost to them last year, and you know that's the only reason they won, and he only did it to win a championship. Like,
Yeah.
as a player, like that's your ultimate goal, right? So like if you know a team comes to you that is just, you know, really good team.
Right. Right.
Who's the best team? Like,
You see it in the NFL all the time,
like,
right?
why wouldn't you want to be on that team?
I have no problem. I have no
You know,
problem with
like-
any of that. I really don't. But
Yeah.
I do. You know, I from an athlete's perspective, I have zero issue with it.
Yeah.
Because look,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, LeBron knows that his legacy is going to be judged by how many championships he wins. We talked about this before. You know, that's the next thing, right? That's when you've got a guy like, again, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, you know, LeBron James, right? They're all incredible athletes. They're all incredible basketball players, right? But this idea, but that's the next kind of way that you differentiate between players at the end of their careers, right? Is how many championships did they win?
Yeah.
And I think LeBron knows that,
Yeah.
right? And so to me, it completely like I would like to see him stay in Cleveland, being a purist and being you know, I just believe it's the right thing to do. But like I get it. Like if all of a sudden, you know, a team, you know, I don't know, because I don't know. It'd be weird to have him in the West though.
It would. It would.
Think
'Cause
about
then
that,
literally
right?
The East, we could just not. The East doesn't.
The
even
Sixers
play.
might have
There's
a
no
chance.
chance.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
like,
right.
there's
Yeah, to get to the
no-
finals
yeah,
anyways.
yeah. So it'd be interesting because I mean I think, and that would be different, right? So if let's say LeBron James leaves Cleveland and he goes to wherever, he
The
goes to
city
LA.
of Cleveland would commit suicide.
right? Just like they pretty much did
The
a
first
few
time.
years ago, right?
It'd be worse this time though.
Think about the other way. What if instead of leaving Cleveland, they just brought pieces that they need to Cleveland for it?
No, that's what they should
that
do.
now changes the mentality of
Right.
LeBron James.
How much?
This to,
How much? And I don't know this. You may not know it either. I mean, it's his. They have a weird kind of salary cap thing, right? They
Yeah.
have like a luxury tax, right?
Yeah.
I mean, are they?
Yeah.
Is his salary so much that they, you know, because
I
they've
would
got Kev-
imagine so. Yeah, I would imagine he's.
technically, like they thought they were putting together the same kind of team that the Warriors
Yeah.
have, right? They got
Yeah.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
They brought Kevin Love in, right? You know what I mean? It was kind of almost the same model that he used in Miami, right? It was LeBron with a good outside player, Kyrie or Dwayne Wade,
Yeah.
right? And then a good inside player
Yeah.
with Bosh, who is meh, and
Yeah.
Kevin Love, who's meh. I mean, at the end of the
Exactly.
day, both those guys are support roles, but
Yeah.
I think that the uniqueness of the Warriors, because they haven't. I mean, minus they added Durant, but they were good before Durant.
Yeah.
Like they only needed that one piece, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and it was. I mean, it worked out, and I going into the trade, I didn't think it would work out well because
Right.
I thought, you know, as Kevin Durant being an All-Star already, obviously Kevin Durant's accustomed to getting the ball X amount of times, as
Yeah.
is now, you know, Steph Curry and Clay Matthews and those guys. So for them to be able to figure out how to play together so quickly, I think
Yeah.
was something that isn't really talked about as much as it should be.
I agree.
It's more like, oh, Kevin Durant, you know, they were supposed to win anyway, right?
Yeah.
And now it's this whole thing like Stephen A. Smith went on this kind of, you know, just went off the other day about Kevin Durant's attitude and like, oh, he did this and he did that and blah blah. I can't believe he, you know, went to the Warriors and
Right.
that, and now he's saying all this stuff like, you know, if you don't like the NBA Finals, like don't watch them. And I guess, you know, Stephen A. Smith is getting upset about it. It's
Right.
Like, what do you expect him to do? Like, look at how you're treating him in the media.
Right.
Like, do you expect him to just be nice to everybody? Like, you're giving him so much attitude, and then you
Yeah.
want him to be nice to you. Like,
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
no,
Like,
I'm with you. Yeah, no,
like-
I get it. I don't know. I mean, I think that KD put himself in that position, and I do think that you have to, as an athlete, I think sometimes, and the NBA is different, but I think you have to understand, like the world that you're in, right? I mean, it's just like social media, right? It's like I can go out and put all sorts of shit on social media, and there's going to be someone that doesn't like what I do, right? And they're going to go after me about it because they can't, right?
Yeah.
Because they know that they're never going to sit like this with me when they have to actually say it to me, right?
Yeah.
And so from an athlete's perspective, you got to say, okay, I'm making this decision. It's the right decision for me, my family, whatever it is. Come on. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jackson. So I'm going to talk about this. This is kind of but right. So to me, KD shouldn't be upset, right? I'd be like, just fuck
I
you,
agree.
right?
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
won a championship,
Yeah,
right? That's what I
like-
wanted to do. I
yeah.
wanted to win a championship.
Yeah.
He handled it ego-wise. Like that to me is the biggest thing about that team, right? Is like you look at that group of guys. There's one basketball. There's one
Yeah.
guy shoot. You know what I mean? Like it's like their egos, they held it together. I thought it would fall apart. I mean, I
That's what
really
thought,
did.
too. That's where I was like, man, I don't know if, I don't know if they can share the ball as much as.
But they did, and I think that,
Yeah.
I think that that's something that people aren't giving those guys enough credit for. And I think that the criticism of KD is unwarranted. I really do. I mean, look, I have no problem with what he did. Fucking thing won't open.
What is that?
Hold on. God damn it. It's kombucha. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
So I don't really know if you can see this. It just went to Ritz's face, and I just turned it away from the camera.
There we go.
Maybe a little closer. The lighting's terrible. All right, that's too much time for that. But so it's like this, it's a tea. Kombucha, I may be saying it wrong, is a fermented tea that has naturally occurring alcohol, so that's good. Do not consume if you're avoiding alcohol, which I'm not, due to pregnancy, allergies, sensitivities, or religious beliefs. So if for any of those reasons you don't like alcohol, don't do that. But so it's basically like this. It's got a boatload of probiotics in it. It's supposed to be really, really healthy. I happened to be at Wegmans the other day and I was starving, right? It was one of those right? Because you're still fasting.
Yeah.
Like one of those trips to Wegmans where I hadn't eaten since lunch and it was almost dinner time.
Yeah.
And I came out of there with 7 bags of Oreos and
Tommy Ippolito actually got me into that stuff.
This stuff right here?
At Wegmans. I don't remember the brand it was.
Do you know how
there was like a lemon ginger thing?
Yeah. The ginger one is really good. I had that one. I may have this one. I may not. It may need your super strong thumbs. Tank, can you open this? Fuck.
There you go.
Yeah, I loosened it for you. It's fizzy too. So I haven't tried this one.
It's like fermented tea?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
It's a little odd. It has a little bite to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff, when you look at the bottom, there's stuff down there. I didn't want to shake it too much because I shook the first one up and opened it and it exploded like a beer. So
is this something you were just like, all right, let me try this because I've heard of it before? Or was this something that...
I've heard it. So I listen to a lot of podcasts and a lot of, I don't pretend to get any original ideas, but... But I saw this, I heard about it on, Joe Rogan or somebody was talking about drinking it, and I was like, all right. And then, like I said, I saw it at Wegmans, and they had it by the case, and I was like, well, I'm not going to buy a case. That's what I would usually do. But there were different flavors, and because I'd never had it before, so I got this one, this Synergy, then I got a ginger one, and I got a green tea one. The ginger one was...
Yeah.
But I love ginger. For something about ginger that I really, really enjoy. So this is the last one, and Jackson thankfully brought it down to me.
There you go.
But... has a little kick. My throat's a little dry this morning. I've either got allergies or a cold right now, and I can't figure it out. So, KD, we kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
Beat that into the ground. Was there anything else that we were going to talk about that we talked about yesterday?
I
feel like there was, but...
So... One other thing I really wanted to discuss was... all right, so...
A haircut?
Before... Well, yeah, we definitely need to do that. I've been waiting. I really want to get my beard trimmed. All right, so before we talk about my issues with the whole McGregor-Mayweather being official...
Oh, right, yeah, we didn't even get to that, did we?
So one other thing I wanted to discuss earlier was Lonzo Ball.
Since we're talking basketball, we'll do Lonzo Ball.
So, Lonzo Ball, for those that don't know, played for UCLA. Really good player. They're saying, top 5 draft pick, right? So they're saying maybe the Lakers hopefully take him number 3 or whatever their pick is, right?
No, the Sixers are 3, right?
Yeah, I think maybe the Lakers are 4. 1. I don't know. Yeah, whenever, the Lakers are basically the only team looking at this guy.
And they're ahead of the Sixers.
Yeah.
Right, they're the pick ahead of the Sixers.
Yeah. So, the biggest issue with this guy is his dad.
Yes.
Okay. So for those that don't know, Lonzo Ball, right, wanted to, when you're that high of a draft pick, usually, you get a lot of endorsement deals going out the door before you even really sign a contract with the team or even get drafted.
Right.
So basketball, biggest thing is sneaker endorsements, right?
Yes.
So they meet with Nike, they meet with Adidas, they meet with Under Armour. None of them want anything to do with this player's dad.
Understandably
we don't
so.
want to deal with that guy, right? So the dad starts his own.
It's falling apart.
The dad starts his own company. Big baller brand.
Right.
Right. Comes out with this sneaker that literally looks like
Poop.
the first pair of like case
Poop.
misses.
It was
right?
horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I wouldn't
And
put.
they sell for $495.
It was amazing.
And I think they've sold like
7.
250 pairs.
More than they
Like,
should have.
Yeah.
Way more
And
than
I
they should have.
guarantee you, like, Chad Johnson probably bought like 5 pairs,
Yep.
right? So, like,
Good use of your money.
Yeah.
Chad.
so anyhow, the biggest issue teams have with this guy is the guy's dad. It's not necessarily him. He's a good player, right? He's fine. But the dad is just so like, all right. So you ever hear those stories of the crazy dad at the Little League game, right? That goes on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
I
take
coach youth football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that kid, make him like 21, 22 years old.
Yeah.
And the dad is now, 40, 45 or whatever. That's what goes on in this scenario here.
Right.
So, ESPN does this commercial for Father's Day.
It was a really good commercial.
Yeah, it was hilarious. So if you haven't seen it, I'm going to put it up on the Shorts and Suits social media page on like Facebook right after this, okay? But basically, the essence of the commercial is these top kind of couple of draft picks talking about, hey, like tell us some memories of when you were, a kid.
Right. Your favorite memories of your dad.
Right. So it was like, I remember, playing one-on-one with my dad in the driveway, and he would let me win. Right.
Ah.
And others were like, all right, I remember doing this with my dad or that with my dad. And Lonzo Ball, literally on camera in this commercial, was like,
awesome.
Who can forget when your dad belittles
The
your
coach, right? Yeah.
Or who can forget, this, or who can forget when your dad uses you to start a company and your, his own legacy.
Right.
So it was just very interesting that commercial. Now people are like, all right, because of that commercial and what he did, does that now make him the number one pick? Right?
It was a good commercial. I thought it was awesome.
Attitude.
I find it. Yeah. I think the whole thing is we're just going to Facebook Live with Riz.
Oh hey.
I think the interesting thing is like when you look at like press and media, it's attention, right? Everything's attention.
Yeah.
And so what's the dad's name? LeVar
Ball. Yeah.
Is a train wreck, right? As far as public relations and just kind of perception, but at the same time, any press is good press, right? So he sold all those shoes, not a lot of them, but still enough if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that he's a jackass.
Exactly.
Right? Because of the way that he acts.
Yeah.
Now, like there's a part of me that goes, is that intentional?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is he a jackass? But
yeah.
like when you hear some of the stories about how he acts with the kids in high school, like how he goes into locker rooms and he's a fucking psychopath at the end of the day. I mean, he is. But at the same time, like the marketing side of it goes, hey, here's a hell of a story. To me, it's like, what does that do to that kid in the locker room? What does it do to his perception? But and that too, right? Does all of a sudden all this attention make him the number one pick?
Yeah.
Which would be Boston, right?
Yeah, and that was what
I
they
don't
were
know
saying.
if
Like, Boston wasn't interested, right?
Yeah.
And now, because of this commercial and Lonzo Ball basically coming out and for the first time expressing his view of his father and having it be identical to everybody else's view of the father, is now okay. Well, he's not like his dad.
Right, but again, is that did they say, hey, are you willing to say this? Right? Are you willing to do this?
So
is your dad willing? You know what I mean? Like that to me is like, because I know that.
Yeah.
Having been on the other side of like that kind of curtain, there are a lot of images of athletes that are not who they really are.
Yeah.
Right? And there are guys that are family men that are out at the strip club every night.
Yeah.
Fucking and just doing all sorts of terrible things.
Those are stories for another show.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're definitely not gonna do that. But I've seen it, right? And there's vice versa, right? There's guys like I played with Deion Sanders in Dallas for a year. Maybe 2.
I asked you about that. One of the first times we met, I asked you about Michael Irvin.
Right.
I said, man, the perception of Michael Irvin as a player was like, all right, He's arrogant. He's
Yeah.
cocky. He's,
And he was all of those things.
Yeah.
But Dion has a public perception that is completely different from the way that he acts one-on-one.
Prime time.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
there's the TV version of that, and then there is the guy in the locker room. And I'll never forget my first year in Dallas, sitting down at a table, eating lunch, kind of by myself. I didn't know anybody. It was week 1 or week 2 or whatever. May have been before that. Deion Sanders came, sat down, introduced himself to me, and ate lunch with me. Right? And right? So I've grown up watching him, right? That's Deion Sanders. Man. And then he sits down and starts talking to me. And I remember like the first game playing the Redskins, my first NFL game at Washington, season opener. And like, I had no idea I was going to dress. I didn't even think I'd be there. I figured I'd be driving Mary Kate back from Texas to Philadelphia to look for an apartment. And then next thing I know, I'm dressed for the game. And he comes up to me, slaps me on the ass, and says, "Have a good one." You know what I mean? And, hey, have a good one. And it's just like, and then I ran into him in like Bass Pro Shops one time, and like, he's a great dude. I mean, he's just an awesome guy, right? But he did a great job of marketing himself in a way that he kind of was willing to portray himself as brash and arrogant. And he's cocky, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But he's a good person, right? I mean, I really like Deion. And going into that experience, my perception of him was completely different.
Exactly, yeah. Well, what I see as a fan is just what we see on TV.
Exactly.
So it's way different.
Right.
But, all right. So,
hey, do you know, real quick?
Yeah. No.
That when you drop your phone, it breaks?
There goes the phone. Is it still recording?
Hi, Facebook Live. That worked well.
Yeah.
Do you know that if you turn it this way, does it go sideways on the...
Yeah.
It does go sideways?
Yeah, just like that.
You sure? Is it look funny on the...
No, it's just a wider thing, yeah. So like the actual, like the
really?
comments and all that
sure?
kind of stuff, yeah.
Positive?
Yeah, man.
All right, I believe you. Latino, you would know. I know you're there. Your face hurts because you were at the dentist yesterday.
Yeah, that'll work.
Deion is a legend.
He is.
Oh, shit.
All right, so...
All right, back. Kinda.
Let's talk about the final sports topic here. McGregor, Mayweather being official.
It's not official.
It's not official. I don't think it's official. Everybody says it's official. Here's what's official. That
they're promoting the fight.
That the Nevada State Athletic Commission is sanctioning a Money Mayweather promotion on August 26th.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's official.
Yeah. Because why?
So, for a professional fighter to fight, they have to be licensed in that state.
Yeah.
Right? So, back when Conor initially signed, Conor was the first one to sign his kind of part of the deal, right? That was about a month and a half ago. Conor McGregor then applied for a boxing license in the state of Nevada.
Right. Okay. Which you have to do.
Exactly. Now, understand that when he, so with the UFC, right? You have to apply for a license with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Under my understanding, the paperwork's pretty much similar. It's just boxing versus MMA. Right. And then you kind of renew that license probably like every year.
Right.
Okay. So, McGregor is very familiar with kind of how everything works. The paperwork, all that kind of stuff. So anyhow, he applies for his boxing license in about middle of May or so. And that is not approved as of today. Okay.
So technically something could potentially throw a monkey wrench into this whole thing.
So basically what the Nevada State Athletic Commission was saying was when he submitted the paperwork, there was medical documents that have to be submitted as well, which he was missing. Right? Which again is you're familiar with the paperwork, so you probably knew this had to be in.
Right.
It was missing. Now that leads me to kind of a couple different theories.
Which are?
So the first theory is, maybe he left those out intentionally because he didn't want some of that medical stuff released until Mayweather signed on the dotted line. He said, now we're good to go.
Serious, it's for real.
Yeah, right. So now McGregor says, all right, here's my medical paperwork.
Gotcha.
My license.
That makes sense.
Right? My other theory is this is McGregor's out. right? So, because even if you look online, you'll see that McGregor, there's multiple sites saying, hey, he applied for his license, but it's stalled. He applied for his license, but it hasn't gone through.
Yeah.
Right?
So that episode of Shorts and Suits went a little long. And so in order to get it up on Facebook, I've kind of cut some stuff out, edited a bit, and put this snazzy ending in right here, as opposed to a couple things that will be up on the YouTube channel that will also be in the podcast, should I ever get that out, or learn how to get that out, whatever it is. So definitely appreciate it. If you've made it to this point, thank you very much. God bless you. You obviously didn't have shit to do today. That's about it. I'm looking forward to doing the next one. We're going to be down at Unique Computer Fixing Place with Anthony Latino this week, and hopefully that one will get up by this weekend. And at some point, this is going to become easy and going to become less technically challenged for myself and Riz, and it'll become a smooth operation. But I appreciate you bearing with us. Definitely appreciate you watching if you made it this far. And, leave us some comments, leave us, shoot us a note, whatever. If you got ideas for future shows or anything like that, we'll definitely love to hear them. Again, Shorts and Suits, we're out. Or something fucking not cheesy like that. See you.